I'm going live right now. Hello. Hey, everybody. It's Ron Jackson. And actually, I'm getting ready to, I see two people already up here. I'm just going to adjust the camera and make sure everything's getting ready to go. And let me get my music out. But, we have 5 minutes before the live stream starts. So I'm just testing the mic to see, because I'm actually going to be using a new setup today with a better camera and a better sensitive mic. I'll put some more light on here to see if you can see me good. I'm going to be using my GoPro as well to go live. Let me say something here for everybody. So if you have any questions, please ask me. Please send in chat. Okay. Let me put the GoPro on here. So I met a lot of you on Instagram, and I'm going to be going on in about a few minutes. I'm just testing everything. I'll be filming. If you need any music, need tabs, etc. The music, email me at ronjacksonmusic@gmail.com. I see two people up here already. I'd like to thank all my guests and everybody from Instagram, all the new people I'm meeting. Let me get that out here. We just test out this guitar. I'm going to be using two guitars today because some people don't understand. I play 7-string guitar too, and a lot of people don't understand the 7-string. So I'm going to make sure I play that a lot. Let me move the camera back a little bit so you can see me better. So I'm using a mic and I'm using my amp, my Bulgaria. I just got a new Celestion speaker. So now you can actually hear the amp now. So you see me play this a lot on videos. Okay. I'm going to turn the amp up a little bit. So I'm using a different mic. So we're going to be going over melodic minor today, just so you know. This guitar that you see me play is actually a cool guitar that I got. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit more, move it back a little bit. Uh-oh. Let me fix this. I'm still haven't quite started yet. I'm just going to move the camera back a little bit and tilt it forward a little bit so you can see the guitar. I have a new camera. And I want to make sure you see me. See me really well. Oops. Hold on, let me turn this a little bit and turn it down. Okay. And put this down a little bit. I hit something by accident here. So make sure you can see me good. Oh, that's much better. So let me put this back on. So I see people up here already, and thanks for watching. So we're going to be going over the melodic minor today. So I like to use the melodic minor for certain things. For a lot of things, actually. And it's an advanced jazz scale. But if you have any other questions, please send it through Instagram chat. Okay? And so you're going to hear the guitar acoustically. And through my amp, listen to this. This is the guitar acoustic. Because I'm actually speaking through the same mic. So let me give you an example of how to use the melodic minor. So I'm going to be playing like an improvisational solo, and I'm going to throw some melodic minor in there so you could see how it's actually used in jazz or in general. Okay, let me see. So what I'm doing basically right now is I'm actually just doing a 1-6-2-5 in E flat, okay? And I'm just changing everything into melodic minor. Now, everybody asks me, why melodic minor? They have a hard enough time with a major scale. You should know your major scale really well before you get into melodic minor, okay? And to get into melodic minor, the first thing you should know is all your major scales and every key and every possible fingering. So I actually have these exercises, 8 fingerings. I'm going to write this out for you. 8 fingerings of the major scale. In C, okay? And you should know that all over the fingerboard. You should know that all over the fingerboard already. So, like the C major scale is like the major scale is the mother of all scales. So you should be able to play it all over the neck, all the way up across. Everywhere, you know. I mean, see. So I'm playing it everywhere, but the point is, you should know that already before you get into playing melodic minor scale, because the melodic minor scale is basically a C major scale with a lower third. So I'm just going to take the same scale. I'm just going to lower the third note, C, D to E flat, which is 1, 2, flat, 3, 4, etc. Etc. You know, I'm playing every possible finger. Not only the key of C, that should be much easier than going to, let's say, D, A flat. Okay, so what I'm doing is I went to A flat melodic minor. So you should know the A flat major scale. You should know all the possible, all the accidentals for those keys. You should definitely know all that stuff really well. Okay, and then so the point is to really know every possible fingering, and then let me see who else is up here. There's some other people checking in soon here. Okay, so the next part is getting to the next level of learning how to play the melodic minor scale. So just so you know, this is weird, but I know people. But on my Patreon account, they melodic minor actually won the what's the word? The contest, because I was going to talk about harmonic minor, melodic minor, and sweep picking. Now, and I write for Acoustic Guitar Magazine, and actually, in the March-April issue, I'm going to be. I'm actually writing a weekly workout on melodic minor and harmonic minor. So it's good that we're going over this, and then you can go to the article, or you can get information from me directly about these scales. So The hard part about the melodic minor is not to play it up the scale. Okay, it is to actually what's the word? To know how to use it and when to use it. I mean, it's just a scale. Now, a lot of people play jazz and you know they want to learn how to play jazz, but jazz is a language you have to learn, and then you have to learn lines. Then you have to take these scales and learn how to actually what's the word? You know, play them in a way where you're gonna it sounds musical. Okay, so first you should learn how to play these scales like I'm doing up the scale, every possible way. See how many ways I played that same line? That's how you really master the guitar. I mean, that's another whole subject. How many ways did I play that? I'm only in the key of C, so that's you can play the same line with this different fingerings in the same register on guitar. That's another thing you have to learn how to master. Now, the next thing to do is learn about in melodic minor the chords in melodic minor. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to go up the scale. You can follow with me too if you can play. You know, if you have a guitar, you should be practicing like this, not just looking at me. Because you know what? One thing I learned when I was at Berkeley is, in general, even with students I teach, is that you don't practice. You don't do practice your theory or anything. You play it on your instrument. So I call it practicing your theory, practical. It's really practical if you take your theory and all this stuff I'm learning and try to actually play it on the guitar. It does you no good, you know, to know it if you can't even play it. That's how I look at it, you know. So you have to apply this. I call it applying your theory, applicable theory or practical theory. So, so the next thing to do, let me get something to drink here, is to go up the scale in thirds. So I'm going to skip a note. Go to C, to E flat, okay? And we're going to go up the scale just like that. Now you should be able to do that in melodic minor, any scale. Skipping every 3 notes. Now you notice I'm not playing in the same position. I can stay on the same string. Etc. Okay, you should be able to play everything in thirds, every possible finger in every position. It's going to take you hours to learn, but that's how you really master your instrument. Now, the next thing we're going to do with the melodic minor, okay, you should be able to do everything in thirds up the scale, okay? So, you got to also be conscious about the intervals when you're going up these scales to know about these, because we're going to be making chords. So this is a minor third, flat 3, minor third, major third, diminished, or major, major, diminished, diminished. Okay, now we're going to go up in thirds, like this, 3 notes at a time. So we're going to make actually triads now. So the thing that's going to be hard for you to learn now is you got to learn what the diatonic triads are in melodic minor. Now, just so you know, I forgot to mention this. Please send some questions if you have any, please. I don't see anybody sending any questions yet. Send the questions on chat right here that I have. The chat is open. It's live. And let me check something, make sure everything's saying is okay. Yeah, the chat is live. So please, please send a chat if you can. Okay. Let me see this. Just making sure that that it's up. Okay. Please ask me some questions so we can interact. So I'm going to go up the scale right now, and it's going to be the first chord is going to be actually C minor, then D minor. Okay, D minor triad, and then it's going to be augmented. Okay, then major, then diminished, and then diminished, then minor again. So this is a C minor. Now, the reason why I didn't say the chord symbols is because you're going to have to do this in any key. So, you have to know the intervals without the names of the chords, because you should be able to play this in every key. So if I did an A flat minor, okay, that would be minor, and then okay, and then minor again. Okay, then augmented, so it's going to be A flat minor, B flat minor, then C flat augmented, okay, etc. So in the key of C, it's easier for everybody in general. So we're going to go, it's going to be C minor, D minor, E augmented, F major, G major, A diminished, B diminished, C minor. So I'm only doing it in that position, but you should be able to play that everywhere. See what I did? I changed position. Etc. Now, so we just did the arpeggio, okay, up the scale. You should memorize this sequence, minor, minor, augmented, major, major, diminished, diminished, okay, going up the scale. Now, the next thing you have to do is be able to play these as chords. So, on the guitar, it's fairly simple. We're going to actually play it as thirds, because thirds are easy to play across 3 strings on the guitar in general. So we're going to go C minor. So for people who joined us, this is the melodic minor. We're going to go C minor, D minor, E augmented, F, G. These are triads when I say that, okay, just major triads. And then A diminished, then B diminished, then C. Okay, you should be able to play that up and down there. See what I did? Any possible fingering. See that? Keep going up the neck. See what I did? Okay, so those are all the triads for melodic minor. Now, these are very important when you want to write and play and be able to play these keys right now. Remember, for people who just came in, that you have to know your major modes and all the triads as well, okay? And we might get into harmonic minor today, but it might be a little bit too much for everybody. But if you can read about that in my next article on Acoustic Guitar Magazine coming up soon. And so the next thing we're going to do is actually work on the 7th chords going up, okay? So we're going to actually take the arpeggio. Now remember, to be able to play arpeggios everywhere. In thirds, we're going to put up another arpeggio, okay? We're going to go. I'm going to put an extra note in there, okay? And go up the scale. This gets tricky. Oops. Made a mistake there. So that's actually C, minor, major 7. Okay, now this gets to a whole different level. Now, D minor 7, then E minor major 7, then F7, then G7. Now we're going to get to A minor 7, flat 5, and then B minor 7 flat. Then C minor major 7th again. So you should be able to play that all in position, for example. Let's start here. Give myself a challenge. Now do it here. Any possible fingering. You see that? Then go up. Then mistake. what I did? So you have to be able to play that. Now that's just going up the scale. You should be able to do the same things you do in major now. You have to be able to go. So that's tricky to do, actually, to do a pattern like that in melodic minor. So I'm going up in thirds, up one chord, then going backwards. So I'm going up to C melodic minor, then backwards on the D minor, then going up on the E major, E flat major, 7 sharp 5. Okay, then backwards on the F dominant. Now I hope I'm not getting too many people right with this. Okay, so those are the arpeggios. Now you're gonna have to learn the chords as chords. The best way to play that is to use a drop 2 voicing, because we can't play the chords. I can myself. You can play them in thirds. Watch this. You have to do a lot of stretching. Okay. Then I'm doing G dominant, minor major. Now, I knew a guitar player here in New York City who was actually from St. Petersburg, Russia. He always plays chords like that. He'd be playing chords like that. I'd be like, oh, I would have pain watching him. So you can actually play the guitar in thirds like that, but it's much harder than a piano. Okay, that's an F7 chord if you want to play it like that. Okay. Now this guitar is a little easier physically for me to play than my 7-string guitar, which I'll show you in a minute if you have any questions about that. Now, are there any questions? Please send me something. Everybody, I know you're watching, but you got to send me a question if you have any questions about this. If it's way over your head, just let me know. I'll also be taking questions about anything else, picking, technique, anything you want. I just woke up, so I'm still getting used to teaching this early. Okay, so another way to play this is to use a drop 2. So we'll actually raise. I'm going to raise the second. Okay, this is a drop 2 voicing right now. I want to play the C minor major 7 like this instead. It's easier. Okay, and then I'm going to go C minor major 7 like this, then D minor 7, excuse me, E flat major 7 sharp 5, or augmented they call it. F7, you can do it that way. G7, A minor 7 flat 5, B minor 7 flat 5, then C minor major 7. Okay, so that's another thing. There's all the chats, man. They're all coming up right now. Why are they delayed like that? Jerry. Okay, cool. So, okay, fellow Berkeley alumni is here too. I have a guitar in hand. Good. Jerry, what's a good way to mix melodic minor and blues licks with blues licks? Interesting. Oh, interesting. That's a great question. So Jerry has a question. How do you mix melodic minor with blues licks? So let's say, okay, let's play blues in B flat. Just a different key because I'm always in C for most of my students. So if we're playing a blues, like, okay, one good way to mix melodic minor is to make the blues scale like a B flat melodic minor. I mean a B flat, minor pentatonic scale. Okay, and then I could actually make that into an altered chord. So we didn't get to this part yet. The uses for the melodic minor. I've just been showing you the scale, but I use melodic minor for different improvisational settings. So for example, if I'm playing over a B flat dominant chord or any chord, now that implies going to an E flat. It's like a 5/7 of the E flat. So I might use altered. So if I'm, instead of playing like just a regular blues scale with with passing tones, little notes in between. Let me turn that a little bit. I'm going to use using B melodic minor, which makes altered. So basically, it would imply a B flat 7 with a flat 9 and a natural 13, or a sharp 9. Okay, of those variations, or sharp 11. That's another one. Sharp 11, flat 9 with a sharp 9, etc. So I'm going to play B melodic minor starting on the 7th degree. So that means B, C sharp, D, E, okay, F sharp, A flat to B flat. So that's the same scale, but I'm starting on the 7th degree. So I'm going to go from the 7th degree of that melodic minor, which is actually A sharp or B flat. So go. So that's a B melodic minor, but starting on the 7th degree to play over that scale. So that's called altered. I think another name for that is called superloquial. So that's how I put it in the blues. So I'd make that into an altered chord. You hear modern players do that all the time, like John Scofield, you know. So you got to know how to use that sparingly. Okay, so that's a good question. Oh, Ragu, hey. Ragu, I like that name. From Iceland, I saw that. What's a good way to play a mixed melodic? Okay, another thing you could do on blues, actually, is if you're playing a dominant 7th chord, let's go to a different key. Let's go to G. I want to change keys because I'm sick of playing different keys. So G. So you're playing a blues. Now, remember on a blues, you can actually use, also mixolydian. Okay, now what I like to do to use melodic minor, I like to raise the 4. So it goes G, A, B, C, D. Okay, that's mixolydian, but I'm going to raise the 4. So that implies a G7 with a flat 5 or sharp 11, 13, etc. Okay, and that actually comes from a D melodic minor, but you're starting on the G instead. Okay, so what I did was I just raised the 4. So it's called the Lydian dominant, that scale. Okay, so let me write these scales down. So you have the altered scale, altered scale. Okay, I'm writing these down for you guys so you can see them. Okay, and then you have the Lydian dominant, we call it, or mixolydian flat 5 or sharp 4, Lydian dominant. Now you have to know what these are before you have to know what the dominant is. The dominant is the same thing as actually a mixolydian scale. You have to know your major modes before you get to this stuff because this is advanced. And we haven't even talked about harmonic minor yet. Okay, so Lydian dominant is called, it's like a Lydian scale with a flat 7, you can call that, or you can call it a dominant scale with a sharp 4. So hard for me to follow. Would be helpful to have tab exercises you just showed. I've got some, but surely will not be able to reproduce from memory. Yeah, I'll get that to you, Dave. Dave is actually, let me tell this. Thanks, Dave. So Dave was asking you about memorizing this. Yeah, this is on my Patreon account, everybody. And I gave some. I'll send that to you. I'll send him some stuff. To you. Now Dave is actually a Patreon, so he gets lessons from me, free because he pays a monthly fee. So so you know, I'm going to be selling these lessons about melodic minor, etc. for $1.99 or more. So just DM me at ronjacksonmusic@gmail.com to get the physical copy if you're not a Patreon. So let me see. There's some other questions. So I'll get that to you, Dave, when I get a chance. Okay, some lessons, and I'll try to put it on Patreon actually. So are these things in tabs? Yeah, Amura. Yeah, these are in tabs, and I sell these things in tabs. So for $1.99. So I sell these. You see, I'm gonna write these down. Sell these for $1.99 and up. Okay, and up on tabs. In tabs. Now, everybody, guitar players, just so you should know these things by heart. Okay, and you should learn how to read. Not use tabs. A lot of guitar players are using tabs these days, and those are one of the basic things I want guitar players to get out of is learning how to use tabs. You should know you should know where your notes are, and then tabs do you no good if you don't know what it even sounds like. So that's the problem with tabs that I have. I'm a real I don't want to say traditionalist, but a modern guitar player knows how to read anything. I can read tabs, but also I can read notes without any tabs. And so this is a good way to do that. Let me see. This is another question. In E flat augmented seventh, in E flat with an augmented seventh. Oh no. So Jerry's asking if the E flat augmented it's an E flat major augmented seventh. I'm playing. Okay. So that's actually a minor major seventh. Is a minor chord actually. So here's a minor major seventh on an E flat right now. E flat minor major seventh. Okay, so you have the 1, flat 3, 5, and major 7. Okay, so before we get into that, you should know how to change your chords into jazz chords. I call them. I have these things on TikTok at Ron Jackson Music as well, and I have a lot of these 1-minute lessons. So you should be able to change your chord like a regular major chord. Let's say an E flat major. We're talking about. You should be able to lower this note in this A form chord, which is comes from the open A string chord. You move it up, okay, and they call it the cage system. And I lower this note to make it a major 7. Okay, so I lower the E to D. Then I lowered the D to D flat, which makes dominant 7th. And then I lowered the D flat to a C, which makes a 6th chord, okay? So it sounds like it's something in the way you move. That sounds like something, that song. But anyway, so this is an E flat major 7, okay? Now, all I did with that chord is the 3rd degree of melodic minor is actually raising the 5. So you have to know your chord scale. You have to know the names of the notes of the chord you're playing. So I'm playing an E flat, which is the 1, a B flat, which is the 5, the D, which is a 7, and this is the 3rd, which is the G. And I have to raise the 5 1 fret. So that's an E flat major 7 with a sharp 5, we call it, okay? E flat minor major 7 is actually 1, 5, major 7 with a flat 3. So it's actually a type of if I played it major, it would sound like that would be a major 7, and a minor major 7 is a minor chord with a major 7. So those are the two different kinds of chords. So you have to know how to voice your chords and how to change notes to make them minor, major, etc. Okay, Jerry, let me go down the street. Let me go down the list. Jerry has a question. Or is the 1 chord the same as a flat 3 chord? No. Oh, because Jeremy, sorry, I'm sorry, Jeremy. I keep saying your name wrong. Jeremy, we're in melodic minor, so it's a little different, okay? So C melodic minor has a different set of chords than major. So you have to really know your major. So in melodic minor, the flat 3 chord is not like related like in the same way, okay? So I would have to think of that as E flat Lydian augmented scale, and then it doesn't work that way because we're in melodic minor now, so we're not thinking in major. So the intervals are different. So it's not the 1 chord and it's the flat 3 chord. No, I'm sorry about that. It's melodic minor and the chords fall differently. Okay, let me see. Now, there's another question. Is Lydian dominant for non-diatonic only? Oh, so Reggie asked me about Lydian dominant. So let's say I'm playing an A blues now. We're playing. playing a blues in A, I could throw in and raise. I could throw in an A leading dominant, raise the 4, which is a Mixolydian scale or dominant scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat, 7, 1, and then raise the 4. So I could do that if I'm a jazz musician. So I like to alter things. We call it reharmonization. So I actually changed the 4 to a sharp 4 to make it more interesting in my solo. Now, also, when you're playing a jazz standard rule is, I mean, you can always break the rules too in jazz. Standard rule is to play a Lydian dominant or a mixed Lydian or dominant scale with a sharp 4 if it's not a chord in the key. So if I'm in the key of C, everybody knows in the key of C, the 5 chord is a G. Now, if I play the chord in the key of C, then I'm soloing, and then the chord shows up as a B flat in there. So that's a non-diatonic dominant 7th chord now. Non-diatonic means it's not in the key of C. Only dominant 7th chord in the key of C is G7. Okay? I usually would play a dominant chord with a sharp 4 or Lydian dominant, which comes from melodic minor. Now, this is over the head for a lot of people. This is kind of advanced, but this is a technique we use in jazz. So usually a non-diatonic dominant 7th chord, you would play a Lydian dominant, which is from the melodic minor. So a B flat dominant chord, okay. The Lydian dominant is actually F melodic minor. You hear that? Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now remember, the melodic minor scale is a major scale with a flat 3. Now in jazz, we played up and down. Up. In classical, they go back down. Oh, sorry. They lower the 7th and the 6th down. So that's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So you can apply that to any key. That's why we have degrees like that. Okay. Oh, Jeremy, contact me I see Jeremy's question. I'm going to go down the list here. Yeah, contact me to get these tabs, okay? My PayPal is ronjacksonmusic@gmail.com and Venmo is Ron Jackson Music. I'll put that all at the end, okay? I'll purchase that thing. Oh, Ron Girls will purchase that too. No problem. Ditto. Thank you, Dave. So it makes much more sense. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. So if you want to purchase these, I'll give you my PayPal, which is at Ron Jackson Music. It's my email, ronjacksonmusic@gmail.com. I'm going to keep going here. I want to take other questions about my 7th string. I'm going to pull that out in a second. At gmail.com. I'm writing this down. Sorry, guys. .com. PayPal. Or Venmo. Venmo, Cash App, and at Ron Jackson Music. So, okay, now let me get into the 7th string. So let me put the other guitar away. So, because I like to play 7th string. So people, if people have any questions, let me know. Hold on, let me look here. Let me put this over here. So we were talking about melodic minor, and also the major scale modes. You should know these by heart, okay? So I pull out my 7th string guitar. If you have any questions about this, while we're going here, I'm going to go for another like 15, 20 more minutes. Please let me know. Oh, I dropped my tuner. So, and also the equipment I use and everything that I broadcast with, people like to know about this kind of stuff because they might want to do that one day. Okay, so I'm going to tune this up real quick. So I'll play you a song. And if you have any questions about the 7th string, I don't want to talk all the time. I want people to be interested. And, and I really appreciate you guys on Instagram, everybody that started following me. And my Instagram's really taken off. And if you want to learn more lessons, go to my TikTok as well. They're only 1 minute lessons. Remember, videos only help you so much. You go to my TikTok, and it's Ron Jackson Music. I have a lot of 1 minute videos that actually I cross post onto my Patreon and everything else, and Instagram, and I have lessons there for 1 minute. But about all this type of stuff. Okay, so watch this. So here's a 7-string guitar. So this is a 7-string guitar, everybody. So I'm trying to get more people to get into this instrument. My late guitar teacher, Bucky Pizzarelli, who passed away from COVID earlier this year, played 7-string guitar and got me into it. Now, 7-string guitar is used a lot in rock and progressive rock music, and we tune in jazz with a low A. Okay, now usually in progressive rock and other styles of music, they tune to a low B, and in Brazilian music, they tune to a low C. So I have a standard tuning guitar right here: E, A, D, G, B, E. Elephants are darn good banana eaters for those kids out there. Okay, and and I have a low A note here, and it's really great for learning, playing really low chord. Okay, it's a really great sound to have, and you can play piano music and all kinds of other stuff. So if you want to get into 7-string, let me know, and it's all on my Patreon too. I have 7-string lessons for both people, really basic stuff to get you into it, and then I'm starting to introduce chords and introduce ways of playing melodies and solos on your bass string. I'm playing something really basic there with the bass lines, actually, and using the bass string as a solo instrument, as a solo line kind of approach to it. Now, when I'm actually, most 7-string guitar players don't use a 7-string for soloing, so I'm trying to incorporate that more in my playing. It's great for accompaniment and other things like that. Okay. Oh yeah, Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's sorry to hear Bucky. Bucky was a legend, man. He was 94, and he died on April 1st, right when COVID was coming out. And when that happened, man, it was really devastating because 2 days later, I heard from Frank Vignola, the great guitar player. We were on an acoustic guitar live event on Facebook, and he told me that he died on there too. So he died. His wife died 2 days later, unfortunately, and I didn't know that. Jeremy, I use these Labella black strings. So let me show you guys. Here's what they look like. I got a pack back here somewhere. These strings are special strings that Bucky told me about. Let me get them right now, so you can see. I don't have that ready. Look at this. So look at this. Oh, look at this. So these are Labella jazz tapes, okay? So they're actually black flat wound strings in between, So the first two strings, the E and the B, are just regular, non-wound strings, thin strings. Then the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth string are wound with nylon tape. These were called labella jazz tapes. Bucky called them labella blacks. So they're black nylon tape wound strings. You can get them from Labella. They're kind of expensive, but I have an endorsement with these guys, so it's a little bit better deal. And the seventh string is actually a round wound string. It's a bass string, okay? It's actually, you can put this on, it's a thin bass string. So look at this. So you can hear the difference too. Listen to this. So if I'm playing this, no, that's kind of weird because everything's acoustic. My mic's picking up my amp. So listen to this. You hear the scratching from the guitar from that too. If I scratch sideways, I play the George Benson picking technique. So on the round wound string, it doesn't work too well. You have to hit straight. But the rest of the strings are round wound. Hear the difference? So it's a 7-string round wound. Yeah, these are awesome. Yeah, they're good strings. You play 7-string, Jeremy, I guess. Yes? I guess so. If you play 7-string, let me know. I mean, I'm looking to help other guitar, have other people study 7-string with me to get the word out, especially in jazz. Okay. Now, let me so this is a 7-string guitar, so I wanted to show you guys that a little bit during the live lesson here. Now, let me get back to the melodic minor and see what the uses are. I'm going to, remember to review your major modes, etc., before you get to melodic minor, okay? It's a very important scale. So I want to show you a couple of different ways I use melodic minor in my soloing. So let me get back to my 6th string here. So when I'm playing melodic minor, hold on. So let me take the strap off here. So let's say I'm playing like a song like My Shining Hour. So when I'm on the E flat major 7, now that's when I like to use melodic minor. So like I like to go on a major 7th chord. When I'm a jazz musician, I can actually play like a regular major scale on this E flat major. I like to raise the 4th to make it Lydian, etc. Then I like to raise the 5 as well. That's when you get to melodic minor. So when you're playing, remember you should know how to change your scales, any major scale to any scale you want. So if I want to make a major scale into a Lydian, I just raise the 4. If I want to make it into a Lydian with a sharp 5 or augmented, we call Lydian augmented, I'll go raise the 5. Now, the augmented is this, okay? We went over this E flat major. In this key, it's E flat major 7 with a sharp 5. Remember that major 7 with a raised 5. That's the chord. Okay, you should be able to play it everywhere. Okay, now that scale actually comes from C, melodic minor. But I'm starting on the E flat, okay? So you have to learn how to start the scale on the E flat, but sometimes it's easier to find the melodic minor when you're playing these just because they're so difficult from the root for most people, even for me sometimes. So what I did was, this is kind of easier because I know how to raise a 4 and a 5 on a major scale. Now, another way I like to use melodic minor is on a minor 7 flat 5. Let's take a different key. Let's say we're going to F minor. So G minor 7 flat 5 to C 7 flat. Now, on the G minor 7 flat 5, it's a Locrian scale usually, a minor 7 flat 5. So you should know how to play a Locrian scale. Locrian scale is kind of easy to play. The note you're playing, the root, let's say you play G minor 7 flat 5. The root is the 7th degree of the major scale. Okay, so remember, in the key of in any key, the chord scales are, Ionian, which is major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, which is dominant, Aeolian, which is natural minor, and the 7th degree is Locrian. So you could take a Locrian scale like a G minor flat 5. That G is the 7th degree of A flat. So A flat major scale. Now the G minor 7 flat 5 is the 7th chord of the A flat major scale. So it's A flat major, B flat minor, C minor, and this is all diatonic major chords, D flat major 7, E flat 7, F minor 7, G minor 7, flat 5 to A flat major 7. So that scale is Locrian. My point out about using melodic minor is this. I like to use this scale called the Locrian natural 9, which you raise the 2nd degree and make it an A instead. So that scale is actually, in this key, is a B flat melodic minor starting on the 6th degree. So it's B flat melodic minor. So I like to use that scale. So if I'm doing like in jazz, I don't know how many people are advanced in jazz here. When I'm doing a minor 2/5, so I'm going G minor 7 flat 5 to C 7 flat 9. Okay, and then I'm going to either major or minor, ending on the, so G minor 7 flat 5 to C 7 flat 9 to F minor, for example. I could use on the G minor 7 flat 5, I could use a G Locrian natural 9. When I get to the C 7 flat 9, I could use a C altered, which is a D flat melodic minor, and then use, I can use a melodic minor on F minor, F melodic minor. So that's very common to use melodic minor on like a minor 2/5 progression, which is minor 7 flat 5 to dominant 7 flat 9, 2 minor 7 flat 5, 5 7 flat 9 to 1 minor 7. Okay, that's a 2/5. So remember that. I'm going to write this out for you guys anyway. I have some lessons about this already, advanced. So that's a very common use of the melodic minor, okay, in jazz, for example. So we talked about a few different things. We talked about the melodic minor used on a major 7th, okay, and raising the 4th and 5th. Okay, that's a type of melodic minor, which is what they call it, a Lydian augmented. Then you can use it on a dominant 7th, like any dominant 7th chord, and raise the 4. That makes a Lydian dominant. That's the 4th degree of the melodic minor. We talked about altered, which is the 7th degree. Okay, and then we use the Locrian natural 9, which is actually the 6th degree of the melodic minor. So, and these are used on different kinds of chords. Let me see if there's any other questions. I see some. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Okay, I will have to give me a said that's awesome, Jeremy. For rock and metal, but never approached it for jazz. Oh, cool. So Jeremy, you play rock and metal. Cool. I'll check you out. Cool. Now, so we went into let's just review real quick. So remember to know your melodic minor scale in thirds and know the triads. Okay, so it's 1 minor, 2 minor, 3 flat 3 augmented. These are just triads. 4 major, 5 major, 6 diminished, 6 diminished. Just the triads. Now the other triads are the 7th chords are the minor major 7. I'm looking this up, just making sure I'm not doing it wrong. Minor major 7, then minor 7, then major 7 with a sharp 5, then dominant 7, minor 7 flat 5, then minor 7 flat 5, then minor major 7. So those are all the the modes of the melodic minor and the chords of the melodic minor, and we went over 4 of the modes, and we didn't go over all the melodic minor modes. I'll have those written out, and you can purchase those from me if you want tabs, okay, about this lesson today. And if you don't know about the major, I have the major scales too for $1.99, all the 8 fingerings, and you can get that, okay? So for $1.99 to me, through me, and you can also join my Patreon where you get that stuff for free for as little as $3 a month. So my Patreon, just in case, is www.patreon.com/Ron Jackson Music. Okay, and if you have any more questions, let me know. You can just send me an email directly at ronjacksonmusic@gmail.com. For anything, and also this is going to be a live playback on this on YouTube. So if you have the link, you can watch this, and in about a month or so, I'll release it to the general public. Okay, but this is a private video for all my Patreon fans. This is for my Patreon fans and people who are invited that won my live lesson contest on Instagram at Ron Jackson Music. I'm glad you guys who've been on Instagram are being really great. And my Instagram is really taking off. Also, my TikTok and my Facebook and my YouTube, they're all really taking off right now, thanks to your help, guys. So please follow me, as well as my Twitter. So please follow me on all those channels if you don't share it to your friends. Follow me at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all at Ron Jackson Music, okay? All at Ron Jackson Music. And, so we did a melodic minor today, and if there's any other questions, send me an email or direct message me on any platform. And thanks for watching, and everybody have a great day. And I'm going to go take a break and maybe record some more videos for all my channels and stuff today. Okay, thank you, everybody, for watching, and it was really fun. And you had some great questions, and I really appreciate you guys. And, it was a great session today. And, you can watch this replay after all this. After I'm done, you can watch the replay. And if there's anything you want to check out and just go over and make sure about, just do that. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.